Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's stream. Let's go ahead and get this market going. We can go ahead and see that CLOV is just straight up popping this morning. Let's go look at the 5-minute chart, all the way up to $17 with an insane move. We have AMC kind of up in pre-market as well. Also with BlackBerry, we are just running up today. So overall, looks like a pretty strong day out of the market. Thank you guys all for commenting. Gato, Russ, Raphael, Israel, Matt, Hunter, myself, Justin, Corbin, Bill, Click, Betty. Thank you guys so much for coming and joining me this morning on the stream. This is going to be a pretty crazy day. You know, we have AMC really approaching that $60 resistance. We're going to have to see how it ends up moving here. And right off of open, looks like we have a nice little green candle. Let's go check out that SPY really quick. It actually moved up above my alert at 423, and we're just hovering above there. So I'll go ahead and delete that since we're above it. But man, this is crazy that the SPY is going up like this again. We're heading up to all-time highs, which is amazing. Let's go check out AMC, maybe getting some green at open. Hopefully, we really need to see like a solid run up out of stocks like AMC today. They looked like they had a pretty good setup coming into today, but we're just going to have to see how they end up playing out. If AMC can really break out above 60, I'm going to really like it. It's holding this purple 100 SMA, which is always usually a pretty good sign. And if we pop above 60, like I said, let's just get running. And it looks like we're going to be heading up right to $60 at open as we speak. And if we go over to BlackBerry, they're also flying up today, initially off of open as well. So overall, pretty good day for these stocks, especially for the hype stocks like AMC and BlackBerry. I think it's just going to be a fantastic day. I have Corbin saying, can you please tell me your thoughts on GLD? It's down in pre-market. I can't tell why. Maybe the dollar is up a little. Mostly the SPY is up and crypto is down. Well, do you think it would run up? So let's go check out GLD really quick. Yeah, it is red at open. My big thing with GLD is if we look at the daily chart, it hit right off of the 180 resistance and then came right back down to the downside. And if I go ahead and like go to a 90-day 15-minute chart, here's where it hit 180 a couple weeks ago on Tuesday. And then you can see ever since then, just straight down. So what I'm thinking is that gold is just up so much over the past 6 months, especially like with this inflation news and everything, you know, that we've been talking about. And I just think that, you know, as the market still is up though, it's definitely going to like make gold have some problems. So as long as SPY keeps ripping up the new highs, I think that gold could keep going down in the shorter term. I think for the longer term though, that GLD will start doing amazing, but I think that in the short term we're just gonna have to, you know, kind of like wait around and see what happens, because if it breaks out above 180, I think that we could see a pretty good run. But until that happens, you know, I'm just not going to be too bullish on it, especially with what's going on. You know, I used to trade gold futures, and that's actually where I started trading, was the futures market. So gold used to be my my baby a few years ago. And yeah, you're right, the dollar definitely affects it, as well as everything else, like with the Fed, the interest rates, even like foreign stuff affects it, like UK's GDP and, you know, Europe and stuff like that. So there's definitely a lot of stuff affecting it. And guys, let me know in the comments what you guys want me to go ahead and watch this morning. I have Rad saying CLOV going for $20. Crazy memers. Yeah, let's go check it out. Rad up all the way up to 1888 this morning. Wow, big run at market open. That's a great sign to see, actually. You know, I know a lot of people have been like kind of like looking at CLOV the past couple days, but I'm really glad it popped up #1 in pre-market and then right at open all the way to 19. That was a pretty big move. We are seeing a red candle now though, which is a little worrisome, but overall it's still not the worst move in the world. You know, hopefully we can still kind of go up today as the day goes on. And then let's head back over to AMC really quick and kind of see how we're moving there. And it looks like AMC is just trying to run up today, but it's just having a lot of problems kind of getting going here. I think that we will break $60 sometime today, maybe more towards the end of the day, but it's just going to depend on the movement that we see. And then we have Kathy saying, is it too late to get in on a call for CLOV? Personally, I think so. If it starts pulling back down in the middle of the day and maybe retest like $17, like how we're maybe doing now, it might be a decent time. You know, at market open, we always see a lot of volatile moves, so I would probably wait like 15 minutes and kind of see how the market's going. And I have Mike saying, CCL is tanking. That's not good. I heard some good news with CCL, and apparently now they're going down. So that's not a good thing to see at all. In the 1 year daily, yep, it's still looking pretty good though. We're still up above the $30 resistance, which is good. But yeah, that's not a good sign to see that going down today. With that kind of news that they said that they could start launching from in July again out of Miami and Galveston, that Grub went ahead and posted in our Discord chat, which is I thought that was going to be good news for Carnival, but it looks like it ends up sending it to the downside. Let's go check out DraftKings. They had a great day yesterday, and they were up this morning in pre-market, and they kind of fell off here right at open. We're going to have to see if they can kind of consolidate and hold these supports today. Somewhere around $53 looks like a decent level for it to hold. And hopefully this is just some crazy downwards movement at open, and it'll still end up going up. So we'll just have to see how it ends up moving, but hopefully it holds $53 and doesn't really start tanking off today. That would be a pretty bad sign. We have JMIA calls. Let's go ahead and see JMIA. Yeah, I mean, Jumia looked pretty good at open again, though it kind of tanked off, just like we're kind of seeing with everything going on here. I really like JMIA on the daily, and I love it off that bottom support around $20. I wish on all these stocks like JMIA, Palantir, DraftKings, Zoom, Peloton, I wish people would have been grabbing shares on these really low down here at supports. I know some people did, but a lot of people missed the opportunity. And right now we're kind of just hovering around that resistance at like $34. So I'd be a little careful with JMIA. Personally, I'd make it break out first or let it consolidate a little bit more. If it comes down to maybe, 27.50 and like retest that small support that it hit a couple days ago, I think that would be a good entry on JMIA. I have Roberto saying, hello guys, good morning. Today I'm watching AAL, DAL, and DBX. So let's go check it out. The airlines. Yeah, actually AAL is kind of double topping here on the daily chart and kind of coming back to the downside, which is a pretty bad sign. That's never a good sign when something double tops like this, but it is still above, the long-term blue trend line here, which is a good sign. It's kind of stayed above that for a long time, and hopefully it can kind of hold this. If it starts to really fall off, I'd get a little bit worried. If I had shares, I would still be holding those, but if I had calls, I'd probably look at selling, just given the movement that we're seeing here. It looks like some pretty red movement, and we might start to go down for like the next couple of weeks, but that doesn't mean that in the middle of like July or August, that doesn't mean that the stock is not going to, start to pop back up. And Jared says SPY calls. So let's go check it out. I've actually really liked SPY over the past few days. Let's go to the 90-day, 15-minute. I think that if SPY can just break out above its all-time high, it'll be amazing. Personally, I have a pretty good feeling it will do that, but it looks like it's selling off today at open. But I think that as the day goes on, the market might start to turn around and go back to the upside. I'm not sure if there's any big catalyst going on right now. I'm going to go check out CNBC.com really quick, but it doesn't seem like that there's too much too much news with the S&P 500 or anything like that. It just says that the S&P is around all-time highs, and there isn't too much going on, but it says that there is still that the Fed news coming up this week, and then next week we have that FOMC meeting coming out as well. So that's going to give definitely some inflation news. And this Friday we have the CPI data for inflation, which is also going to be a pretty big event. So this week we might have some big moves out of the SPY. We'll just have to see how it goes, but it's having a lot of trouble passing above that all-time high. And Nando says, what do you think about SFIX? Let's go check it out. Stitch Fix kind of moving to the upside, up above. Actually really good. Actually, I've heard of this company quite a bit. I really like the chart here on the daily. Looks a little overextended right now. We're like right around that $70 resistance. Personally, I'd watch out for that, but overall, great stock and great company. I think it'll be pretty good for the long term, and I've actually ordered some stuff by them, Nando, so that's a pretty funny thing there. But B-Click says, looks like Apple is finally moving. Let's go check it out. There we go. I'm so glad to see Apple moving. I mean, yesterday, I should say, was terrible for Apple, and they even had that event going on. So today, it's very nice to see them going up. Let's see if Microsoft's going up. Yeah, that's funny. Microsoft's up, or Apple's up and Microsoft's down. And yesterday, Microsoft was beating Apple. So that's hilarious. But either way, both stocks are up, which is a decent sign. Just Microsoft started to come down at open a little bit. I just wanted to go run to AMC again really quick to kind of see if we're going to be breaking out above $60 anytime soon. And it looks like at open, we're consolidating on this $56 support, and we are holding the red 1000 SMA, which is a pretty good sign. And I love how defined this is. You can see we literally just touched the line and started to go back up, which is normally a great sign to see whenever it just barely touches like that. And then I have B saying NASDAQ, so let's go check out /NQ. So the NASDAQ, wow, yeah, that's really running up today. QQQ having a fantastic day at open. That's a pretty amazing thing to see with QQQ today. I've always liked tech. Yesterday, tech was really running up. Overall, tech was just killing it. Let's go check out Facebook and Twitter. I hope that they're doing good today. Facebook doing pretty decent. TWTR kind of consolidating a little bit under $60. Hopefully it can break up above that to fill that gap to the upside. Let's go check out NVDA, see how that's doing. Little flat, but looks like it is going to start rising to the upside. That's a pretty good setup here at open. AMD, another tech stock flying up today, so that's a great sign to see AMD flying up the way it is. And guys, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to grab a quick drink, and then let's go ahead and see the get back into some of these questions. I have Terry saying good morning. I got in DMTK. I've actually never heard of this one. Let's go check it out. Dermtech. Yeah, Dermtech. I thought I was mispronouncing that, but yeah, this is actually running up very nicely. It almost reminds me of like a setup like DraftKings or Palantir or something like that. Looks like a very nice recovery play, and I think it could definitely continue back to the upside. And then Muscle says, what do you think of CNBC Fast Money segment on Monday where they debunked the naked short process? One of the panel tried to simulate buying a naked short. Keep up the great content. Muscle, I haven't actually seen that. And what do you know what stock they tried to buy the naked short on? Was that on AMC or something like that? Because I know that, it just depends whenever you're buying naked shorts. It depends if shares are available. Like, for example, I could come here and I could try to sell, DMTK to the downside. And it might, if as long as TOS has some shares available, I'll be able to get in. Same thing with like AMC. If I wanted to short AMC, I could short AMC if I wanted to at 56.29 as long as Thinkorswim had the shares available. And then I'll also have to pay a percentage to Thinkorswim, like an interest for them allowing me to short those shares. So and the more volatile it is, the higher the interest is. So like with AMC, I don't know the exact numbers, but the interest is probably going to be a lot higher than if you shorted something like Walmart or something, for example. And then Vicky says, good morning. Pins, Fiverr, and you. So let's go check it out. Pinterest, hopefully they're having a good day. Yes, they are. Another big runner today out of Pinterest, Vicky. I'm glad I told you yesterday. I thought that one looked good because honestly, that daily setup was very nice. Look out for resistance coming up around $70 though. I would definitely be a little bit wary of that resistance. So just be a little bit careful. But I think that's going to be definitely the level to watch. And then let's go ahead and check out Fiverr, FVRR. Fiverr, yeah, another recovery play. It looks just like Pinterest, almost the same exact setup, Vicky. And then she says she wants me to check out Unity Software. This one's probably my favorite one out of all the companies. I think this one will do the best in the longer run, but them and Pinterest, I should say. But Unity is just one of my favorite companies just because of everything they do with their software and everything like that. But as long as they can break out above $100, I think Unity could be a great play, but make them break out above $100. I think that'll probably be a huge resistance there. And Mike says crypto is down, so that's never a good sign to see. Let's go check out /BTC really quick. Yeah, Bitcoin is just tanking to the downside. Definitely not a good sign. And I think that the main reasoning for the drop on DraftKings is going to be or for the drop not on DraftKings, the drop on crypto is going to be because everybody's kind of taking their money out of crypto right now and kind of getting into AMC, BlackBerry, GameStop, some of these other stocks that are just flying to the upside, SNDL. They're all looking at these stocks and thinking that there's a lot more opportunity there. And personally, I have a lot of friends that, they were all hyped about Dogecoin. Doge is going to go to $1. Doge is going to go to $5. And now they all took their money out of Doge and they're putting it into AMC. And I hope that that kind of shows you guys how this hype kind of works, because, whenever people are taking their money out and putting it in different things like that, it kind of shows that their confidence in the thing it was originally in isn't the best, right? Because like, if you think Doge is still going to go to $5, why would you exit your position there? But it's just one of those crazy scenarios where everybody's kind of selling out of positions and getting into different ones. And I think that that's the main reason why crypto's going down, is just AMC, GameStop, and these other hype stocks are just stealing the hype. That's the thing. Just they're really stealing it. And then Raphael says SPCE is moving. Yeah, wow, they are moving today on the 1-year daily. Pretty big move, actually. I know they had that successful test flight a couple weeks ago, and that really made them start to pop up. And this is honestly a pretty nice move to the upside. It's looking pretty good, actually. I've been looking at SPCE for a long time. I used to be into them, back at like $26, and I ended up selling them somewhere around 50, I believe, on this uptrend. And then I even did it again. I had them like at 18 and sold them at like 26 or 27 before that rise. So there's definitely been a lot of opportunities on SPCE. Personally, I feel like a lot of those have already passed, but we'll just have to see what happens. I think that going over the next few days, as long as we can continue this momentum, it could be a pretty good trade to the upside. I have Hunter saying MU went straight down from open. Let's go check it out. Not a good sign. Yeah, MU down. That's a pretty big chip semiconductor stock, I should say, chip stock, whatever you want to call it. That's pretty unfortunate to see on the daily. It did kind of fall below this 100 SMA and kind of bounce off of it perfectly, and now we're heading to the downside, so that's never a good sign. Rad says CLOV has more volume this morning than AMC. Weird. Yeah, so CLOV, let's go check it out if it'll type up here. It seems like my Thinkorswim is lagging a little bit, but yeah, CLOV's up 45%. No wonder it has more volume. I guess that's the main reason. Let's kind of here, let's see how much volume it has today so far. It says we have 107,800,000, so right around 107 million. Let's go check out AMC. AMC is coming in at 32 million. So yeah, that's quite a bit more volume, actually. That's almost triple the volume. So that's a good point there, actually, Rad. Thanks for pointing that out. CLOV is definitely a runner today, and there's definitely been a ton of people talking about it. So honestly, CLOV, I cannot believe the cap up it had, but it's a pretty good stock. So we'll just have to see how it can start to move over the next few days. And let me know the catalyst on CLOV, guys, if there is one. I think I'm definitely interested in it. So let's go check out mRNA, Moderna. Giovanni says, check out Moderna for me. Honestly, I have a good feeling Moderna has just flown up over the past couple of weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 green days in a row on Moderna. And most of these were pretty good green days as well. They weren't very small. There was only like one small green day out of those 10. And now it's starting to come to the downside. So I will say be very careful. I think that this one could start to consolidate or come down. I feel like this is pretty overextended here. And then Hunter says, I thought naked shorting was when shares don't have to exist to be shorted. Yeah, Hunter, I honestly haven't even looked it up, so I've never heard of it. I just figured that they meant just straight up shorting the stock, so I have no idea what they meant, but I'll definitely have to look that up. I've never heard of naked shorting, so the shares don't even have to exist. So that sounds pretty weird, but I'll definitely have to look that up and kind of look into see like what you're talking about there. And we have Muscle saying AMC. Let's go check out AMC once again to see how this is moving today. Is it finally breaking up above $60? Well, it held that 1,000 SMA, and it looks like it's heading up towards 60. So hopefully it can break out above 60 sometime today, because if not, I'll be pretty worried. And Russ says Zoom is flying. So let's check it out. ZM, another great day. Zoom had a good day yesterday as well. They're right at that $350 resistance. Hopefully they can start to break out above that, but it's definitely poses a solid resistance in the past. And on the daily, they're on the 100 SMA. So we're going to have to see what can happen today. But I think a breakout above 350 and we're golden on Zoom. I honestly like Zoom. It's only up 1.7%. I think it could definitely keep continuing to the upside. And we have Augusta saying, just sold some $22 mRNA puts. That's a very good idea, actually. I think that's, wait, mRNA? Hold on, let me go back and reread this. Oh, Mara, Mara. Okay, there we go. That made more sense. Mara, $22 puts. Yeah, Mara is down today with Bitcoin. You know, I like the idea of what you did by selling the puts. Personally, I have a feeling that you went a little too close to the money here. It looks like it's gonna probably fall below 22, and you will end up getting a sign. I don't know what your expiration is. If it's this week, I would think you might have a chance if we could stay above 22. But it looks like if as long as Bitcoin and some of these others keep going down, obviously that's not going to be a good sign for Mara and Riot. And I just think that 22, it's definitely a great price to get shares at for the long term. So don't get me wrong there. It's not the worst play in the world. I probably personally would have went somewhere around, the $18 strike or maybe the $19 strike, but to each their own. And honestly, 22 is not terrible for the long term here. If it goes up, goes back up to 57, you're more than doubling your money. So obviously really good, and you could always keep averaging in. And let's see, we have Manny Money saying, that reminds me of Floyd Money Mayweather, but Manny Money says, when looking to swing trade, what time frames do you normally use? So for swing trading, I like to use the daily quite a bit. We can kind of really see how the stock is consolidating down here at the bottom. And then I like to switch over to a 15-minute, normally a 90-day, 15-minute personally, because I really like to be able to see far back out, and I like to see the intraday movement as well, and this is probably the best option for that. Some people like to use the 1 hour chart, but see, like sometimes a stock can go up and down and up and down so much within an hour that you're not seeing some of the movement there. So that's why I like to use this, but everybody likes their own time frames, of course. And I just think that like with swing trading, definitely the daily is definitely the most important though. If you can like identify good support and resistance levels, and you can trust yourself enough to buy on the solid support lines, then I think it's normally a pretty good way to go. And I think the daily is probably the best there. And then we have Raphael saying GME, GME, GME. So let's go check it out. GameStop up 15%. Wow, it actually is running. Is AMC running up as well? It is not. So AMC is actually falling behind some of these other stocks. We have GameStop really rocketing up. It only has 3 million volume, but still very good today for GameStop, running up to 324. This is actually a pretty good move. I mean, everyone's been talking about AMC, and GameStop's flying up. So that's great to see. Muscle says, Trump in a speech yesterday called crypto a scam. Why it's dumping today, I think. Wow, yeah, I didn't hear him say that, Muscle, but yeah, definitely big words out of him. And personally, I don't know what to think about that. He calls it a scam. Personally, I don't know what to think about it. It's kind of like in the middle to me. You can use it for some real life applications, and they're starting to make it where you can use it a lot more in regular life. So I think it can be good in that way. But everyone talks about the dollar inflating, right? Like the dollar loses value. If Bitcoin's at 30,000 and it falls to 15,000, you just lost half of your value. So, it could definitely affect people in a negative way too. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people probably lose money on that rather than win. I'm sure that there's a few big winners in there, but just like the stock market, probably 90% of the people lose on crypto as well. So always keep that in mind. That's always going to be a big thing to think about. We have Click saying, I think today is Apple Day. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Apple's flying up. I honestly love it today. It broke out above 126.50, which was awesome. Went straight to the upside. And they had that good event yesterday, which might have pushed them up today, which is a great sign. And then Jerry B says, CLOV Big Daddy. So let's go check it out. CLOV really running up today, up to 1888. Let's see if that volume is kind of still coming in. Yeah, 21 million volume on that candle alone. So more volume in like one 15-minute candle than GameStop all day so far. But yeah, 1888 is the high. It is starting to come back to the downside now. Be very careful. It looks like it's trying to consolidate, but it could easily keep running later in the day. It is up quite a bit though, 44%. I wouldn't really expect to see it go up 1,000% or anything like that today. And then let's see, we have Vicky saying Fubo, please. FUBOs. It's still running up, Vicky. Oh no, not a good sign. Coming back to the downside. I was hoping after the good day we saw yesterday, I would see Fubo continue to pop up, but looks like we're having another consolidation day. And honestly, Fubo's up quite a bit from its bottom as well. So if it starts to come down, I'm not surprised at that one either. let's go back and check out the SPY again really quick. Yeah, the SPY is just failing to break out. It looks like we're moving back to the downside. Yesterday we had a low right around like 421.20. I think if we break below that today, it's definitely not going to be a good day, especially if we can break below 421. Yeah, Rad, poor SPY. It's not looking good today for the SPY. Let's go see if the QQQ is still holding up though, because it was nope, it's not holding up. It's coming back to the downside. Not a good sign at all. Everybody was really excited for the market to break all-time highs today, and looks like as of right now we're going to have a nice double top, and we're just going to have to see how it can start to move later on in the day. I don't think the move's over necessarily though. We're still holding up above 421, so it's not like the worst moves in the world. And we have Israel saying, yesterday I placed one call for AMC on the Charles Schwab platform, and they come in negative $2 million negative. Their system is corrupt. Wow. What's corrupt there? Charles Schwab system or what, Israel? Please let me know. I don't know. What's corrupt, AMC or Charles Schwab? Please let me know. I'm definitely interested, because we have a lot of guys in our Discord who use Charles Schwab, and they love it, to say the least. So we're definitely gonna have to see which one is the scam there. But Muscle says, reply, AMC was the first stock Fast Money was trying to naked short in their simulation. Okay, so that makes sense, AMC. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look up what a naked short is. I'm not sure like what they were doing exactly there. I haven't seen the episode at all, Muscle, so I'll definitely go check it out though. I'm guessing it was Kramer talking about it. But we have W saying NVDA. So let's go check out Nvidia's. It's still running up. Nope, coming back to the downside. Looks like it fell below $700, which is not a good sign. Honestly, Nvidia's went straight up though. It's still looking pretty good on the daily. I would not be surprised if we saw a few red days out of this though. It's done is pretty much go straight up. So I think that a couple red days are kind of needing to happen here. I think that's going to be a pretty big way to go here. And then we have Hunter saying crypto down because of UK news. Yeah, let me go ahead and let me go check that out. Actually, I didn't know that there was any UK news. So let me go check it out. CNBC initially says Bitcoin slides 7% after US seizes most of Colonial Pipeline ransom. That sounds a little strange. Let me go look up UK crypto news really quick and see kind of like what I'm finding here. Yeah, police calls for new powers to freeze crypto assets in the UK. So wow, that would yeah, if they could start freezing people's crypto because they had suspicion of illegal activity, that's going to be a big deal, because crypto is used a lot actually for illegal activity, Hunter. So that's a great news you pointed out there. I think that's a fantastic thing to see. And I think I think CNBC should hire you, Hunter, because that's you're finding the news better than they are. So that's pretty good to see. Augusta says next week. Jared says, what's going on with the SPY? I thought we would fly today. Do you think we will? So let's go check out that SPY again. Let's go check out the daily. It looks pretty decent. We're still right around those all-time highs. 90-day, 15-minute. Looks like it's coming down. Now let's go to my watch list on the left-hand side of my screen, okay? So we're checking out on my watch list on the left, and you can really see how these stocks, I only have 4 green stocks, and I have quite a few big names on here, to say the least. I got Citibank, CGC, Wells Fargo, Nvidia, JP Morgan, Caterpillar, AAL, Facebook, Walmart, Palantir, BABA, ARKX even, Apple, Target, RTX. There would be a lot more on here actually, but they always get deleted off. Like if I start clicking around, see how it deleted one off? I don't know why it does that, but it always deletes them from me. But yeah, this is just a bad sign. We're seeing a lot of stocks go red, so the SPY is just kind of going to the downside. Banks are going down as well, so that's a bad sign to see. And everybody said inflation would help banks, but I'll tell you what, banks are right around highs right now. Go look at Bank of America's chart. They're up quite a bit over the past year. Personally, I have a feeling if inflation starts to get worse, these banks are going to start to fall to the downside. Everyone says that they're ready for it, but you know what? I don't believe them. I think that they're still going to go down. So let's go check out that SPY and see how it's moving. Hopefully the SPY starts to break out to all-time highs. That was my main concern, and your concern with your question. And I think it will, later on over the next few days. It's just going to depend on what comes out with this inflation news. on Thursday, we have CPI data coming out that's going to show how the inflation's moving, and that's going to be a pretty crazy thing to see. Yeah, let's go ahead and see. Let's see. Rad says the poor spy puts printing. Ouch. Yeah, not a good sign. Still coming to the downside. Pradeep says GS stock falling from yesterday. So let's go check it out. Goldman Sachs. Yeah, Goldman Sachs, just a bank like I was just talking about, going to the downside. Goldman has done great this year. You know, they've been really killing it. Their trading department has absolutely killed it, making billions of dollars in revenue for Goldman. And it's just been an amazing year for Goldman. Honestly, they're up so much that this almost looks like it's getting into bubble territory or way overextended to me. I mean, man, before COVID, Goldman's high was 250. Now we're sitting around 400. Man, I'd be really careful over the next couple of months with some of these banks. I'll tell you, they're running up. I know interest rates are going to go up, but man, if inflation and stuff like this starts going up, I don't know what to think about banks. I don't think I could see Goldman running up to 500 a share personally. I mean, if it keeps going, I don't know, what to think about it. But I just think, everyone always says that banks are prepared for all this stuff to happen. And I'm sure that they're, trying to prepare for stuff to happen. But honestly, they're just so overextended that I think we're going to see some negative movement eventually out of some of these. And that might be what's hurting the SPY overall. And Russ says AMC broke 60. So let's go check it out. There we go. Right. Well, let's see. It kind of faked out. It barely broke it, came back to the downside. So hopefully we can start to really move up above that, because, man, I was really thinking we would start to run. And I think we still will, going on later in the day. But as of right now, it's just having some problems getting going. But, man, I think that over the next few minutes, I'm going to go check out GME really quick for Rad. But whenever I come back, I bet you that we're going to see AMC popping up again. So let's go see GME all the way up to 340. Yeah, I did see it, Rad. I saw it. It said AMC sit down. That's pretty funny. So I appreciate that. That's a pretty funny thing to hear. Up 16%. How much is AMC up today? Up 8%. So it's really overperforming that. I wonder how CLOV is doing. Just to check back in on CLOV, kind of consolidating below that high of date 1888. Looks like it might start going up though if AMC can start to rise up again as well. And I have Justin saying AMC popping. So yeah, overall AMC is looking pretty good. Let me know if you guys have any stocks you want me to watch. And there we go. AMC popped up above $60. That's a great thing to see. And guys, don't forget to leave me a like and check out the links down below. Make Mike happy. He might give me a raise or something if you guys hit the like button a lot. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it's a pretty funny scenario here with AMC. I really like it going up today. Let's see if we can break that high of day. I'm just going to sit here on the 1 minute, kind of watch it, because it looks like it's really running. If I was going to, go ahead and trade, I would try to make it break out above 60 right here, and then go ahead and hop in for a very quick call and see what you could get out of it. I wonder how high we could start to move today. Let's go check out that daily. I mean, man, I think we might be able to come up to somewhere around $70 today. If we start to really break out above 60, I think that'll be a pretty good scenario for the stock. Yeah, let's see. It's just having some problems, It's on the 1 minute. It's having some problems breaking out. I wonder if GME is kind of consolidating now as well. Yeah, it is coming down to the downside. Not a good sign. What about BlackBerry? We've all been talking about that one a lot as well. Kind of holding the 100 SMA. Thanks, Jerry. I appreciate it. That's funny. And yeah, BlackBerry holding the 100 SMA, going to the upside, looking like a pretty good stock moving. Rad says Mike's watching. Yeah, I don't know if he is or not, but that he probably is, honestly. So that'd be pretty funny. But yeah, Roberto says, do you have an opinion on DBX? Let's go check it out. DBX Dropbox. I really like this stock for the longer term. My question is, in the short term, is it up too much? I think it honestly looks like it could keep going up. Let me go to the max daily to see where we were. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'll be honest. This is a very good setup. Who called this one out? Let me go to Roberto. Thank you, Roberto. This is a very good setup here. I really like it off the 100 SMA. And honestly, on the daily, it looks great. It's starting to really break out. I think that there might be a good resistance at $30, but honestly, for the long term, I think that it's still at a pretty good level. The lows are at 14. If it starts to go down, I would just start to average in a little bit more. I wouldn't necessarily start getting calls or anything like this, but I think that it could end up being a pretty good day overall. And Manny Money says thoughts on STEM. STEM. I've actually I actually haven't heard of this one before, STEM, but it looks like a very good setup actually. Very good recovery back to the upside, all the way back up to 35 from lows of like 17 or 16. So they almost doubled, or they over doubled in price, went up over 100% from that low. Reminds me of like Palantir or something like that, how it just had a really bad like past few months and then started recovering up over the past couple of weeks. Looks very solid. Let me go check out Workhorse really quick for a couple of people. Augusta says to check out Workhorse as well as Rad. So let's see. Workhorse is starting to really move back to the upside, and this is a pretty good sign, honestly. You know, Workhorse has been a powerhouse over the past year, really running up, and I just think that overall, I mean, Workhorse is a pretty good stock. I like how it kind of consolidated on that support around 1350 and started to go back up. If we go look at the 5-day 15-minute, it looks like it's breaking out of here as well. Definitely be careful of that high at 1833, but overall, I think it's going to be pretty good. And guys, give me 1 second. I'm just going to update some positions really quickly, and then I'll get back into the questions. While I'm doing it, go ahead and let me know down below anything you want me to see or anything you want me to cover. I can go over inflation or gold or, you know, anything like that as well. We can even dive into some news on CNBC if you guys want to see it, so just let me know. Alrighty, I am back. Just had to update a couple of positions really quickly. Some stuff we had going on. But let's go ahead and check out some of those cruise lines again. We got CCL moving to the upside once again, which is a great sign to see. You know, initially it opened, we saw some negative movement out of CCL here. We go look at the 5-day 1-minute chart. You can see how much it started to recover back up. That was honestly a pretty bad drop we saw, even though some good news came out. So pretty crazy day to say the least. Adam says, can you do QS? So let me go check it out. So QuantumScape, let's go check it out. QuantumScape. This is a pretty cool name to me. I like the name Quantum for some reason. It sounds pretty cool. Honestly, today it looks like a pretty bearish setup. If it can start to recover back and break highs, I think it'll be pretty good. You know, the thing is that it's not really recovering back up like we're seeing some of these other stocks do. So that's my main concern. I like QuantumScape possibly for the longer run. I don't know what they do exactly, you know, as a company, but I will say, like, giving off support and everything, it looks pretty good. I know that there's also been a lot of buyers coming into this one at the lows as well, so it seems pretty good. And Rad says WKHS is nostalgic for SM. Yeah, it is kind of, actually. That's pretty funny. We had a few good ones on that in the past, and yeah, Workhorse looks pretty decent today. Hopefully, it can start to go back up to the upside. Giovanni says, "What happened to Tesla?" You know what, Giovanni? The Tesla's not looking the best right now, and I'll tell you what. Here, I'll go ahead and pull up my max daily chart here. And Tesla's it's in a pretty bad setup. I'm gonna be honest. I like Tesla for the long run. I love Elon Musk. You know, he's King Elon to me. You know, I wish he could be the president, but he can't. So, but one day maybe, I don't know, but we'll have to see what happens. But I call him King Elon, and he's definitely my favorite entrepreneur out there, besides Mike, of course. But no, I'm just joking. But yeah, it looks like a pretty good play here. I like it how it fell below the blue trend line, and I think that as we start to move you know, up here, it's going to depend if we can break this trend or not. Personally, I have a bad feeling that Tesla is going to keep going down to the downside. And my main reasoning for this is that Tesla's building a bunch of factories. You know, they're trying to get that pickup truck going. They're really building a bunch of factories, research and development on new batteries as well. New factories for batteries, new factories for the truck. It seems like that they're doing something new every day. So like it's honestly good for the company in the long run, but in the short term, it's gonna cost them a lot of money to do what they're doing. And I think that that will pay off for them in the longer run. And of course, Tesla's an amazing company. Even over the past year, if we go back a year to June of last year, so let's go all the way back to June, you can see Tesla was at $160 a share. Now we're at 600. So we're still up, you know, quite a bit here over the past year, even though Tesla's coming down as hard as it is. Let me go ahead and get the exact numbers here. But at the beginning of June to now, we're still up 268% over the past year. So that's honestly still insane. I think, call me crazy here if you guys want, but I have a bad feeling Tesla's going to come down to $400. I see a huge support down here around 400, and I have a really bad feeling, especially if it can fall below 500. You know, if it breaks 500, I think 400 is going to be the one to look out for. Personally, I think that will happen, but we'll just have to see how the movement goes. And definitely let me know in the comments if you if you think Tesla's going to go down or up or what. But in the longer run, like let's say over the next couple years, I think Tesla might go back up to 2,000 a share and then have another split. But I'm just talking about for the short term, over the next 6 months to 1 year. That's my little outlook there on Tesla. And I cannot say this name, but Fables of Troll Master Fables of Europa. Sell it all. Yeah, so sell it all. Are you saying the market's gonna come down? Hopefully not. I hope it doesn't. You know, it's not looking good at least. But if it does start to go down, just adjust your strategy, and obviously you might have to start playing some puts or doing something else. So there's definitely a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, Jerry, $400, and honestly, that's still not very far out. I don't think, like, even though like I said last August we were still at 300 or under $200 a share. So honestly, if we go to 400, we're still up quite a bit year over year. And honestly, like if it goes to 400, look how quickly it went from 400 to 900 last time. It only took like a month or two. So we could easily go from 400 up to 900 or even up to 1200 or something like that again with some good news. Like my main thing is that once Tesla starts selling this pickup truck, I think they're going to do fantastic. But until they start reaping the profits from that electric truck, they're going to be hurt until that happens. But whenever those profits come in, they're going to skyrocket. And I think that it's going to be a fantastic opportunity. I hope it keeps going down so that I can buy shares lower and capitalize off of the profits on the truck. And that's how I think going into some of these plays here. Jerry says, I'm in SPY calls. No. Yeah, so let's go check it out. 5-day, 15-minute SPY calls. At least it's coming back a little bit right now. But you're right. It's not looking good overall, which is a pretty bad thing. Brad says the consolidation on CLOV is looking nuts, just sitting there. So let's go see CLOV just sitting there, huh? Yeah, wow, it is kind of just sitting there. I like how it's still holding its ground though. It's not moving to the downside too much, which is great. It honestly still looks like it's in a bullish setup to me. I love how it came down and touched that 100 SMA. I'm sure you guys have figured out by now that I love SMAs, and man, this is amazing that we'll see this here. Rad says, yeah, the orders on the Cybertruck jumped after Ford failed to top it with their EV truck. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would think that honestly, the Tesla truck looks a lot cooler to me as well. And the Ford truck is going to be pretty good, but it's probably just going to be like all the other F-150s, like the F-150 Lightning. I'm saying it almost looks like the other ones, and I think people might have wanted something a little bit different, a little bit more futuristic. But maybe Ford will keep some of their customer base, which is good, because there's a lot of older people who probably honestly have no interest in some of these electric trucks. I know people who only drive diesel trucks. So people are talking about getting electric, and I know people who refuse to switch from diesel to gas. So yeah, we're kind of getting into some crazy stuff right now with people and just buying trucks and everything like that. But I think that going forward, Tesla's truck is going to do fantastic. And that's good news to hear that those orders jumped like that. Let's go check out Ford. I haven't checked them out. Oh, this is not a good day for Ford. But overall, the past year, Ford's been killing it. I'm not surprised to see him coming down a little bit here. They've honestly just went straight up. So it's been a pretty good past few days for Ford, I would say. And hopefully it can keep keep consolidating and then rise back up, but we're just gonna have to see. It's pretty overextended. I think if we start to come to the downside, just be a little careful. It's like I said, it's overextended a lot. I could see it coming down. I don't really have a good bottom level to look out for here. Maybe somewhere around $15 over the next like day or two. But yeah, it's just not looking good on them for the past few days, but for the past 6 months, it's been fantastic. And Tesla, let's go see their intraday movement again. 5-day, 15-minute, they're slightly down as well. And Rad says, wow, as we speak of consolidation on CLOV, it hits. So let's go check it out. CLOV, did it finally move up? And there we go. There's that bullish sentiment to the upside. I loved it off that SMA, really running up. I wonder if AMC is going up too. Let's go check it out. AMC was kind of trying to go back up above $60 also, kind of double top there. Honestly, AMC looks like it's trying to run up as we speak as well. I bet if we sit here and watch this, we might see AMC come up and break out above this double top here on the 1 minute. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a quick drink really fast. Guys, please share out the stream. Please share out the stream. Please hit that like button. It'll really help me out. I appreciate it. And guys, definitely let me know any stocks you guys want me to cover. The stream will end in about 15 or 20 minutes, so definitely let me know before then what I need to cover. That's not a good sign to see this red candle on AMC, but give me 1 second. So yeah, AMC just not looking good on the 1 minute. Hopefully it can keep going up though. I think it looks like a pretty decent setup here. We have Tesla moving back to the downside. I wonder how NIO is doing, but we've kind of forgotten about that one with AMC kind of going on. And honestly, over the past few days, NIO has been pretty great. They're outperforming Tesla over the past like few weeks. Like if we go look at since May 14th, now let's go see what Tesla's done since May 14th. So let's see. So Tesla's honestly been a little up as well. So not too bad. They haven't outperformed them too much, but NIO is looking a little bit better, I think, in the shorter term. But for the longer term, I really like Tesla a lot more. And John says to go check out DOCU, D-O-C-U. Let me go see it really quick. DOCU coming right up to that resistance around $250. Let's go check out that 1 minute chart. Coming down today right now. It looks like it could still go up later on though. Just as of right now, we're seeing some downwards movement out of it, which is not the best sign in the world. Here, let me go ahead and check out some news. Let's go check out some news really quick on some of these on CNBC and on investing.com. See if anything going on. Job openings set new record at 9.3 million ahead of economic reopening. So job openings in April soared to a new record high. So that's pretty good. There's going to be a lot of job openings at least. So hopefully people can kind of go out and fill those jobs. I don't know how those unemployment benefits are still going, but hopefully that can still do that. Let's see. It says, as AMC seeks to add more theaters to its portfolio, insiders warn that market already has too many screens. So that's a pretty scary thing to hear. I wonder if that's why AMC is not running up as much as it could be today. And then let's go check out investing here's CLOV. Jumps 50% as Reddit trading mania spreads to more stocks. So that's always good. Deutsche Bank says global time bomb incoming due to rising inflation. Biden administration announces plans to strengthen critical supply chains. So it seems like there's actually quite a bit of news coming out today. Let me go check out investing.com really quick and kind of see how they're looking. Apple, Tesla boost NASDAQ, inflation in focus. Biden administration sets up strike force to go after China on trade. So that's a pretty big statement. He's going to set up a strike force to go after China. I thought everyone was upset that Trump was going after China on trade. So I guess we're going to have to see how this kind of goes out now. But it looks like we're going to have more China news, which maybe that's what's driving the SPY down. Anytime we have some negative stuff with China, that's definitely bad for the market. And honestly, this SPY today is not looking good. It fell off at open. We did kind of see this yesterday, though. You know, the SPY fell off at open and then consolidated down here pretty much for a few hours before kind of recovering back to the upside. It held that like low of day, or it very slightly broke it, then went right back up. So we're gonna have to see what can happen today. If it can start to fall below like 421.50 or 421, I'd be a little worried about it. But until that happens, we're just gonna have to see what goes on. And Gatto says CLOV is popping. So yeah, Clove Health still popping up above 1974. Hopefully we can see this continue to go up. If we can break above 20, I think it'll be a pretty good move out of CLOV. I really like this stock. We have Click saying BTC. So let me go check that out. Actually, I'll let me go check out /BTC really quick to kind of see what we're moving here with. And man, it's just not looking good at all. The futures here on Bitcoin fell below 32,000, 5-day, 15-minute chart, not looking good. Huge sell-offs at open today. So overall, bad moves out of crypto. I think that that's everybody selling off and kind of putting their money into other stuff like we see with, you know, AMC, GameStop, and others. I think we're just seeing a big transition between these stocks right now, or between crypto and stocks. And the big thing is that, you know, it's all about the hype. I think is that whenever crypto is going up, everybody's hyped, everybody thinks it's going to explode, and they all, you know, go running in. And then same thing with AMC, you know, now it's doing good, so everybody's kind of running to AMC and BlackBerry now. So we're just going to have to see like what ends up happening, because like what's going to happen now is CLOV doing good. Like for example, CLOV is doing good now, so it could be taking away AMC's investors and GameStop's investors and stuff like that, or SNDL could be doing it as well. And it's just a weird scenario because there's so many different factors affecting these things, and you just have to be pretty careful. But I think that for the next couple days, some of these stocks could keep going up, like CLOV, AMC, and others. Freddie says the CLOV squeeze is real. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it is. For real, it had a huge move today in pre-market, up 65%. Let's go check out that daily. Lows of $6 all the way up to $20. So yeah, very good moves, honestly. I know that the squeeze is real. Let me go check out the short interest really quick on CLOV in our Discord. Let me go check it out really quick. I'll tell you what it says. The short float's still at 36%. So there's still quite a bit of people in, at least according to StockBot on Discord. So that's a pretty crazy thing to hear, that it's still at 36%. And one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of these shorts, you know, one negative thing is that a lot of these shorts almost have unlimited capital. So like as these stocks go up, the big thing is that sometimes they can just keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, or they just have tons of cash set aside that they're able to kind of withstand these rises. And I think that a lot of these stocks going up is more of just the hype and everybody getting into the same stock rather than the short squeeze really happening. Because if the short squeeze happened, you would see the short float start to change. For example, if the short float's 36% now and these guys got out, you know, the short float might drop to 20%, or it might drop to 10% or 15%. You know, you would definitely see big changes in it, kind of like what we saw with GameStop the first time around on its way up to 500. So we're just going to have to see how that short float changes. But I just think the main reason is just the hype and just everybody kind of running into these stocks. We have Manny saying thoughts on GRWG calls. GRWG. I actually have never heard of this one. Grow Generation. Is this a marijuana stock, Manny? Because it looks like honestly a pretty good chart here. Really good setup. I think it's a pretty good play, honestly. I think for the longer run, it looks pretty decent. Personally, my favorite marijuana stock is PLNHF, which is Planet 13. They own the biggest dispensary in Las Vegas, Nevada. If you guys ever go to Las Vegas, please go check out Planet 13. It's a pretty cool place. There's a lot of cool dispensaries there, but Planet 13 is like a huge Costco or like Walmart for it. So it's kind of strange. I hear it's overpriced, but it's definitely cool to look at. And it's a very interesting subject. And it's definitely pretty cool to like walk around in there. You know, you wouldn't think you'd be able to do that. I have Matt saying Ford Lightning will crush the Cybertruck at a $40K asking price. And Matt, you know, I hope it does. You know, I hope Ford can kind of do better with it. Personally, though, I love that. I love that Cybertruck from Tesla. I'll be honest, that thing looks awesome. I think it looks better. It's going to perform better. It's going to have more function. Uh, Honestly, it's going to have a longer range probably. That's my main reasonings. I love Ford though. You know, I drive a Ford Focus ST and a Mercedes, so I love Ford. My dad's always driven Ford trucks, and it's always been a pretty good, you know, company to me. I love my Ford Focus. It's a pretty cool car. And overall, I mean, I like Ford, like I said. I also like GM. I think GM will start to go up from some of this electric vehicle news as well. But yeah, the Cybertruck does start at 40,000 rad, but keep in mind that is for the lower end one. You know, I'm on the list for the Cybertruck. If anybody isn't able to get on the list for the truck, you know, you guys can buy my slot maybe if you want. But no, I know I'm just joking. But yeah, I know that the tri-motor one, I believe, was going for like 80,000 or something like that with like a 500-mile range. I think that's the one I signed up for. You know, I might not end up getting it, but I at least, you know, put the $100 down to get on the list just in case. But yeah, I mean, personally, Matt, I like the Cybertruck better. I'm not sure Ford will beat them or not. If it does, that'll be pretty cool actually to see. And there might be a pretty good like war going on between like Ford and Tesla over the next few years. Hopefully GM can kind of join into that. And honestly, I'm just glad to see some competition. You know, we've been seeing Tesla, Ford, and GM really killing everybody in the EV sector, or specifically Tesla. You know, I'm glad that Ford and GM are finally coming out with some stuff to kind of, you know, to kind of give Tesla some competition here. And maybe that's why Tesla's going down. You know, we're seeing Ford and GM pop off of all their EV news. And I think that they're definitely going to steal some of the market away from Tesla for sure. So we're just going to have to see, you know, how those sales end up going, especially like with the Ford Lightning. Like you said, Matt, it's definitely going to matter on those sales and on what happens. And I'm definitely going to look up more about the Ford Lightning to kind of see some more stuff about it. But yeah, overall, pretty interesting subject with these EV stocks. I know CCIV Churchill Capital is Lucid Motors. It's been doing pretty good over the past few days also. Today is pretty red though, not a good sign. Let's go check out AMC. Man, it's just having so many problems breaking out above $60. I really want to see it keep running, but it's having a lot of problems breaking out. Hopefully it can go on and break out later in the day, but it's not a good sign to see this happening. I'm sure CLOV is kind of consolidating too, and it looks like it's trying to right now consolidate a little bit right on that $20 resistance. Pretty scary to see actually. Hopefully CLOV can keep going up, but it's up 67%. So it's honestly up so much that don't be surprised if it comes back. You know, I say that a lot with things like when they get overextended, be really careful. But let's go check out BIIB. You know, I'm surprised nobody asked about this stock today. You know, it flew up a lot yesterday off that Alzheimer drug news. I was kind of expecting it to be one of the big talkers today, but we go ahead and look at it, and it is slightly down today, which isn't a good sign. You know, it did go up so much yesterday that I'm not surprised to see it down today again either. And just a crazy scenario, kind of bouncing off that 380 support there on BIIB. So overall, pretty good looking play out of Biogen. And then we have the SPY moving to the downside again, kind of below the 1,000 SMA. Not a good sign, down below 422. I'm getting a little bit worried about the overall market. I'm really hoping that we can recover back up. We've hit this top up here around 423 like 3 or 4 times now. Let me go on the 15-minute chart and kind of go back here. Let me go to the hour really quick so we can kind of see. So yeah, here we go. We can see the triple top up here. I'll actually just draw a quick resistance line, I should say, up here at the top. I was getting a little tongue twisted there, but let's see. I'll make it the width on it 4 so we can all see it. And yeah, there's the defined top there on SPY. If we can break out above 423.59, I think it'll be an amazing move, but it's definitely going to take some consolidation. It's definitely going to take a lot of movement to see what goes on with this. And then we have Manny saying it's not the retail of hydroponic and organic specialty gardening products. So, okay, gotcha there on GRWG. That makes a lot of sense. So hopefully that can do good. I think that'll be a pretty good stock. Let me go check it out. GRWG again. Yeah, I think like I said before, it's in a decent setup right now, and I like it on the daily. My main thing is what they did, and honestly, that sounds like a pretty good sector to be in. especially with anything like hydroponic. I've heard of that stuff very slightly, a little bit. I haven't looked too much into hydroponics, but it is one of those things I've heard about. Definitely on YouTube and stuff like that. Definitely have to look into it a little bit more. Vicky, Tesla is a years ahead of competition. Yeah, I know, Vicky, it is years ahead, but one thing to keep in mind, Vicky, is that a lot of people don't like Tesla. Like I ask around my family, and it's kind of unfortunate. I go to like a family cookout or something, and they're all like, "Oh, Elon Musk and those stupid electric trucks and all that stuff." You know how people are. So I love them. I love the electric truck. I love Tesla cars. I love the Ford Lightning. I like all those, but it's crazy to hear that some people just, I don't know if they don't like Elon Musk maybe or what it is, but they just don't like Tesla, or they don't like the technology, or they're scared of electric cars. I have no idea, but some people just don't like it for some reason, and it's it's a little worrisome, I think, because I think that people should like it, but it's just definitely a scenario where everybody, I guess, has their own opinion. And why, even though they are years ahead of the competition, like I said, like some people who are older might not even care about being years ahead because they might not know how to use a touchscreen or something like that. So we'll just have to see, how that ends up playing out. But I think Tesla, like I said, will do great in the longer run. It just depends on how much it's going to move in the short term. And Jelani says, Tom, do you know anything about Airbnb share lockout today? No, I actually don't. Let me go check it out. Airbnb, really quick. Let me pull up my news here on the left side of the screen. Airbnb shares are trading higher with sympathy in the overall market. Let's see if I can find anything with this home sharing service. Shares are trading lower. Yeah, I haven't not actually heard about that news, so I'll have to definitely look into that and see what's going on. If you want to ask me about it tomorrow, or maybe leave a question on last night's YouTube video asking this same thing, Jelani, I might be able to cover it in tonight's video for you if you want. But go ahead and leave a comment if you want me to do that. But let's go ahead and check out that overall market again really quick. The SPY, hopefully it's starting to move back to the upside. It looks like it's just kind of consolidating down here to slightly going down. I'm going to be honest, whenever we normally see it touch the 1,000 SMA like this, it normally means it's going to move in a pretty bad way to the downside. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Yesterday we saw it touch the 1,000 and go down a couple of times before we finally broke through it and kind of came back to the upside. And we also have that 100 SMA to look out for as well, which is the purple right here. As this stock keeps going down today, the purple is just going to come lower and lower and lower, and then we might be able to come back up and touch it, kind of like we did yesterday a few times. So we'll just have to see what happens with the SPY today. I was kind of expecting it, especially with this big pre-market move, for it to kind of break out to all-time highs today, but just a bad sign that it's going down. And hopefully there's not some huge negative factor. Hopefully it's not the Chinese news causing this, or else it could end up being a pretty bad next couple of days. But guys, I really appreciate you joining the stream. Thanks for joining me the past few days while Mike's been gone. He will be back tomorrow. I'm sure a lot of you guys are pretty excited to have him back. I know I am. And definitely been missing Mike the past few days. So definitely leave me a comment down below if you missed Mike at all. Please hit that like button. Don't forget to check out the comments, don't forget to check out the description down below if you want to come join Mike and I in Discord. I'll be in there for the rest of the day today until the market closes, of course. And then just keep in mind, if you ever have any questions or anything, you can just @ Tom Moore in there and I'll answer it. Definitely check out those links though, guys. Thanks for joining the stream, and hopefully we can see stocks like AMC, BlackBerry, CLOV start to recover back to the upside. Let's go check out CLOV. Hunter says we are Mike missers. Yeah, for sure. Wow, look at CLOV though, guys. Look at this. CLOV on the 1 minute over the past 3 minutes finally broke out above $20, running up to $23.98, up 100%. Let's see it, up 100% right there. That's awesome to see, guys. CLOV really flying. That's great news. It looks like this stock is going to be definitely the one of the day. Let's see if I wonder if that short interest is changing at all. This might be the squeeze. Let's go ahead and check out SI CLOV. I'll tell you guys what the short interest is really quick before I run, but This is definitely getting insane. The short float's still at 36%. I'm sure that might update today as this keeps rising, but man, this is just an insane thing. Whoever called this out about it being in the squeeze earlier, definitely good. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, Hunter. Thanks, Vicky. Thanks, Manny. Radpay. Thank you guys for joining today. This was insane. I was not expecting to see CLOV popping like this right as I was about to leave, but yeah, that's a pretty crazy thing. I appreciate you guys watching. Check out those links down below and have a good rest of your day.